Well, congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I'm sure you've heard that once or twice already, which is always good to hear, I suppose. It'd be different if we were having an interview and people were saying your film's really bad. Why is it so bad?
Do you do that sometimes? Like, do you interview people which films you actually hated?
So yes, we do, but we tend to be professional and say, talk about the film rather than why is it so bad. Although I did interview George Clooney last year at an event, and I had to ask him about when he played Batman, which it was not very good. But he makes a joke about it, which is good because it makes it fun. Yeah. So he made a joke about it, and I'm talking about your film. I told him that did he know that there was loads of these drinking games now, that people do these drinking games when they watch that Batman film that he's in. And he laughed and said, "Thank God, there's something good come out of that mess. If you can do drinking games with it, that's good. That's what you want, isn't it?" I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what you want." So, but no, your film is good. I'm not lying to you. It's very, very good. Really enjoyed it. So congratulations on the film. So for you as a filmmaker, what was the kind of genesis for this film? How did it start, and how long did it take you to kind of get it off the ground?
Yeah. It started actually with the one scene when Nora just got her period in school, and Romy is meeting her on the toilet and washing out the blood out of her pants, and like has no fear to touch the blood and stuff. So I wrote this scene because I thought that would be a nice way to meet for two girls. And also because I was missing, like in many coming of age films, it always is kind of a side story that a girl gets her period, but it's not shown in a realistic way. And I myself found it so disturbing and so difficult when I was that age that I wanted to make a film that tells it more realistic than I saw it before. So that was maybe the starting point, like the idea of making a coming of age film that is told pretty close to the body. And from that point on, I started to develop the figures, and then as it is, like in scripts, somehow, like if they're big enough, then they just start work by themselves, and then you have the script.
And was there a long casting process for it? Did you find your ladies pretty quick, or did it take you quite a long time to find them? Because I guess, like you say, it's a coming of age film, but it's a very different one. So did it take a little bit longer to find the right people?
No, it was actually very fast. It was so fast that I didn't really trust the process. I was working with Jelle, who plays Romy, before in my first feature, Looping, and she read the script and was like really in love with Romy, and I was a bit afraid because she was in her 20s already. Romy is like 17 or something, so I was like, oh, maybe you're too mature for that role. And but then she was like, okay, just let me come to the casting. So I said, yeah, fine. And I casted her together with Lena Otzendowski, who plays Nora. And from her, I only saw pictures, but I was so in love with her face that I had a strong feeling for her. And so they actually have been the first people coming to casting. And it was such a beautiful fit because I really believed the love between them so much. And that's quite difficult to achieve between two young girls, that you really really believe that they are loving each other. And then I saw lots of other girls, but I always stayed with them. And and then also we had like a big street casting, because like most of the boys who you can see in the film are living directly in the house or very close by where we shot. and have been like helping me very much in, because I know the area quite good. I grew up pretty close and I spend a lot of time there, but of course I'm a different generation and I didn't grow up with social media and stuff, and so they really have been a corrective for my script as well. So they would always say, we would never act like that, or we would never say this and that word and stuff. So I was very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was to say it's a kind of different coming of age story in many ways, but also the world now is very, very different to what it was, you know, when I was a kid, when you were as a kid. So as you say, with the pressures of social media and the way that kids at that age interact and how they feel kind of what, you know, their responsibilities, but also how they feel popular. They feel popular in different ways now. I just wondered why is it important to tell these coming of age stories now? Because the world is very different than what it was especially when I was a kid. So I just wondered why you wanted to tell this particular story in this particular way.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could totally see how much more pressure there are nowadays on young people, and I think like suicide rate has, like, from teenagers has doubled when they've been able to use social media on smartphones. So of course I think it's very, very important to tell coming of age stories that really make a difference in terms of what really counts, and show young people what really counts, and encourage them to be themselves and go their own way. But I also figured out that the main conflicts always remain the same, like the main insecurities and the main wishes and needs. Of course, it is different now because you have like this constant visibility in social media, but actually the main topics are very much as we know them. And so I think what is important is just to support young people to have strong characters, because you can't just hide the mobiles, you know, like doesn't make sense. And also it's not just negative, like for example for young queer people it's a very great thing that there's social media, and that they don't feel like the only person in the world feeling that way. They know that there's so many others, and that's pretty great also.
Yeah. And obviously you've had it at a few festivals and played it in different countries. Have you had different reactions in different countries? Have you found that some countries react to it in a certain way, and then others that you've played in maybe have had different reactions and made you maybe see the film in a different way?
I mean, sadly, Cocoon has been at very many festivals already, but sadly this year I haven't been able to travel with the film, so I haven't been in touch so much with the audience as I would have been if there wouldn't have been COVID, which makes me pretty sad. But what I've figured out and what I found very lovely was that you know, you're talking so much about like what kind of audience you would have with a film, and this is a coming of age film, and probably young girls would be more interested in that than old men. And I thought that this was not the case. I saw so many, like, I don't know, men in their 50s being very touched by Nora and telling me that they really felt for her and they really saw their young selves in Nora, although they had like a totally different life experience and total other gender and sexual orientation and stuff. And so that I found very, very beautiful, that we, you know, all are the same, like in the core. And if you have empathy, you can feel with every character, how, no matter how different it is from yourself.
Yeah. Has it been, I presume, I can imagine it's been a bit frustrating given that you haven't been able to celebrate the film in the same way, but are you still happy that the film is going to be released, even though it's going to be mainly on digital services? Are you still delighted that people around the world are going to get to see it, maybe not in the way that you had anticipated, but they're still going to be able to see it?
So happy, so happy. I was like, at first when this like COVID thing came up, I thought it's going to be over soon, and I thought, oh, hopefully not every festival switch to online now, because you know, like, can they please just wait a couple of months and then invite me so I can actually go? But then I realized that's not going to happen, and that now I'm very, very thankful if festivals decide to go online, because you also see that this is actually the only thing that counts, that people get to see the film. You know, everything around, like the privilege of traveling and stuff, that's not so important. You actually really just want people to see that film.
Have you been able to use the time, your downtime, to maybe work on your next film, or have you done some things that maybe, you know, caught up on some reading or caught up on some other movies or something?
Yes, actually now I'm kind of I'm at a little island in Sicily writing my next script, which will take place here as well. And that's a very lovely way to be away from everything in times of COVID, because I just have the ocean and nothing else. And so I'm, yeah, not infected by all the craziness of the world. So yeah.
That's good. That's good. You know, yeah. Well, the world is pretty crazy at the minute, but there's worse. There's you could be in that island in any time, but this time seems quite apt in the sense that you can use it to, you know, create and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty good.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Listen, thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure talking to you, and your Wi-Fi has worked. Fantastic.
Yes.
That's all good. Well done. Well done. Good luck with the film and everything. Thank you so much for your time, and yeah, stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.